Hi friends! So today we are finally getting back into Tutorial Tuesday. This is something I really want to do, and if you're new to this type of series, I know I've only done one, so I don't know if I can call it a series, but if you're new to this, I really just feel like we've kind of lost sight on YouTube of the coolest part about the beauty community, which is teaching. It is so fun to get to show people different looks, be really creative. My favorite part of makeup is doing my eyeshadow and just like teaching people how to do things and maybe giving them some tips that they might not have thought of. I'm going to preface this by saying I am not a professional makeup artist. I'm just a girl on the internet, and I am not a professional in any way, shape, or form, but I love makeup and I love doing my eyeshadow, and I think I'm okay at it. Like I'm not terrible. One of my eyes is watering really terribly today, so if it gets a little messed up on this eye, like, I apologize. But today we are going to be doing the KKW X Mario Palette, which looks like this. Really pretty palette. I've been using this for a couple of weeks now, and I finally kind of wanted to show you guys what I do. First, I want to give like a mini review because I have a lot of thoughts on this palette. Is this just a neutral palette with a pop of blue? Yes, it definitely is just a neutral palette with a pop of blue. Here's why I like it a lot though. I've actually grabbed this probably 4 or 5 times in the past 3 weeks since I've had it, which I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, so the fact that I've been continually going back to this is kind of like a big deal. I think the formula of these, especially of the matte shades, is very unique. It is very creamy and very like, I don't know how to describe it. It's so creamy without being powdery or not pigmented or not blendable. They're very creamy. I feel like sometimes with shadows, when they feel a little bit too creamy to the touch, they don't blend out as well for whatever reason. I feel like these are incredible. I haven't even touched this blue shade, by the way, and I'm not going to. This tutorial is not gonna you can go look at every other single beauty guru that's reviewed this palette and they will show you a look with the blue shade. I'm gonna do a neutral look because that's what I do with this palette. I don't reach for this blue. It's a cool color, but like, I don't know. But I think this is a really good formula. I think if you're looking for a really good just neutral palette, people have been comparing this palette to pretty much everything, but I think the biggest one, because it's new, is the Soft Glam. So I kind of wanted to go through and just see like what's similar. Here's the thing. It's really about, you could pretty much dupe every color except the blue and the purple. I think every other color you could pretty much find in here. These are very similar as far, if you cover up the blue, these are very similar palettes. The thing I think differentiates this from the I almost said Soft Glam. The thing that differentiates this from the Soft Glam palette to me is the formula. Anastasia shadows, as much as I love them and I love their formula, they are powdery. Definitely makes them easier to blend. But I like these because they still feel creamy, they don't make that mess, and they're also very smooth and easy to apply. I think this is a fantastic palette if you're looking for something neutral, and for the price point, I think it's worth the money, in my personal opinion. I bought this with my own money. Like, you can look at my subscriber count, like Kim K is not sending me anything. But I do think this is a really good palette, and also, low-key, I don't know if I would trust everything that comes out of KKW because I think a lot of it is the money grab. I love the Kardashians, but that's just my personal opinion. But I do think that because Mario played a part in this, he's such a renowned makeup artist, like, it was just gonna be good. The quality was gonna be there. I could see people using this on clients for like everyday looks. I think it would be perfect for that. And I use it on myself for pretty much a natural kind of everyday look. And I feel like you can also, with this darker shade here, I've like vamped it up to be a little bit more going out approved. The sparkles and the shimmer shades are really fantastic. Overall, I really like this palette, and I am sorry it took me so long to tell you guys, but I'm sure it'll come back, or I don't know if it's in stock or out of stock right now, but I personally think this is a really good one, and it's something that you guys could definitely use and would like, and is very user-friendly, if that makes sense. I'm gonna stop talking now and just show you my look that I kind of create with it, but yeah. I don't know, I don't use the blue shade though. I feel like I'm so average. Every beauty guru was like, how could you not use the blue shade? Really easily, actually, you just don't use it. All right, I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna zoom you guys in, and then we're gonna just kind of show you guys how I would create a very simple, basic, everyday kind of glammy type look. So let's just jump right into it. This is super close and personal. Hello. Again, this eye is watering really bad. I just have really terrible allergies, so I apologize. I'll try to focus it more on this eye, my good eye right now. So I'm just gonna start. I have my little color switch down here. that I got for, don't buy the Veramona color switch from Sephora that's like $10. Buy this little cheap one from Amazon for like $3. They work the exact same. Or just use like a sponge, honestly. I'm gonna start off by taking my fluffy brush right here, just a big powder brush, and I'm going to dip into that shade Decade, which is just this white shade right here. And I'm just putting that all over the lid as a base. So now I'm just setting it with a base color because that's what I typically like to do. Now, let's see. I'm going to go into the shade Miami, which is this kind of burnt orangey shade right here. This is a really, and it's same brush, that same big fluffy brush. This is a really, really, really nice, and I'm just kind of lightly going in with that. I'm like lightly going in the middle here, and then I'm going a little bit harder and a little bit darker on the outer. Does that make sense? Like harder here, putting a little bit more pressure, and then lightly blending it out to here. I kind of want a gradient effect a little bit. Honestly, you could just put this with one of the shimmer shades and you would be completely set for like a day look, whatever you wanted, but we're gonna go a little bit harder. I'm gonna do this side too. So we have that orange base you guys can kind of see. Very orangey, very light. And now we're gonna kind of go in with this red shade right here, which I believe is called Albania. It's really difficult because I'm pretty sure they're switched. And I'm going to take this tapered brush, but it's a little bit fluffier. And because we don't need something super precise, but we want it to go lower, we're going to take that red shade and we're just going to put that on the outer crease. See how much, I just dipped my brush like a couple of times and you just get so much pigment with this. I don't know, I really like this palette. And I'm just going to focus this really, really lightly in my outer V. I'm not going to cross that center of my eyelid. This is all going to stay relatively, but I'm going to push it into my crease just a little bit more. But I'm going to keep it really, really focused on the outer. See how there's kind of a harsh line right here? We're definitely going to go in after we add our final matte shade and just blend that out better. So right now it's okay if it doesn't look super blended. So I'm going to go in with this shade Loyalty, I think, which is this brown shade right here. And I'm going to take the tip of that brush and I'm really going to focus it lower than I did the red. Really focus this in the outer corner. I'm almost kind of like stamping it. See how I'm like tapping? And then I'm blending it out. I'm just taking a really, this is kind of a, I call it like a scratchy brush. It's one of those brushes that isn't very soft. It's a little bit scratchier, but it really helps to get like this. See how it's kind of muddying up a little bit where I put the brown? This is just going to help blend everything together. Yeah, these scratchy brushes don't feel the best on your eye. And we're just buffing this up so it kind of like blends a little bit more seamlessly into your skin. I am just going to take this kind of flat top brush I have right here. It's really thin. You guys don't need MAC Fix Plus. I feel like everybody says you need it, and I thought I needed it for a long time. You don't. I'll offer you this Makeup Revolution Pro Fix Illuminating Fixing Spray is so great for spraying your brush. Just as an option, this is like $6. And honestly, water. Like you could just spray your brush with water and it'll still give you that kind of foiled effect. So I'm going to start with this gold shade right here that is called Glam. This gold shade right here. And I'm going to dip my wet brush into it. I'm going to start right at the edge, but not the inner corner. So I'll even zoom in more. We're just going like this. And you can see it's really foiled. Again, I think next week I'm going to do a cut crease to show you guys how I do one, but I don't, it's just so much time, and I feel like it looks fine without the cut crease. It looks obviously better with the cut crease, but with something that's so simple like this, you don't really need to put in that much effort. I'm then going to go into this deeper gold shade that's next to the white. I'm going to use the same brush because we want a gradient here, and it's just a little bit of a darker gold. And this does fall out though, this gold shade, and I'm just going to be rubbing that in so we have a little bit of a gradient going on. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side with the gold, and then I'll tell you what we're going to put on the inner corner real quick. I like to take that flat brush and really pat in between the two shades of gold so they almost look the same, but there's like a slight difference in gradients. The goal is to make them look very similar, but it's also fun to like have a little bit of different dimension. I like doing two glitters. I talked about this in my last video because I really do feel like it gives you a level of dimension to your eyeshadow. Now we're going to take 2008, I think, which is this really sparkly color. yeah, this really sparkly white color, and I'm putting that in my inner corner with just a really tiny detail brush. Is that it's definitely like kind of a one-trick pony palette. It's not a ton, it's not the most versatile palette on the planet. Like, you're not going to create a ton of looks, but if you're kind of like me where I'm in school and I just want to know what I'm doing while still looking really put together and kind of glam, this is a really good palette for that. So I'm going to take this just kind of fluffy brush, but it's a different one than we used before. I'm not going to put anything on it, and I'm just going to blend along that crease to blend in that glitter with the matte, just so it's a little bit more seamless. It doesn't look as harsh. We're not doing a cut crease here. It's supposed to look really blended together. If you're feeling like crazy, I would go in with that darker shade again and just even pop a little bit more of that into that outer corner. It's not a very precise look, but it's something that I feel like you could do on a basic day and people will be like, oh, your eyeshadow's really pretty. So, yeah. I'm going to do my eyelashes and my eyeliner and try and get my freaking eye to stop watering. And then I'm going to come back and show you how I do the lower lash line. It's super, super easy, so I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the final look. About this palette, I don't know. I do think it's worth the money for the quality, but I think if you are the type of person that wants something adventurous, which I feel like a lot of people are, this is definitely kind of a one-trick pony. Can basically do the look I just did, maybe a little bit different with the shimmers, but as far as the mattes go, there's really only one way you could apply the mattes, I feel like. You can't go too crazy. You could go a little bit lighter, but you definitely couldn't go any darker or vampier than I have with this eye look. Unless you put this like all over your eye, I guess. There's always things you can do, but for me, this is a little bit more of a one-trick pony. I do like it a lot though and think the quality is up to par. It just kind of depends on what you want. I hope this tutorial was helpful if you guys have the palette or you have palettes similar. I hope it maybe gave you some inspo, especially with like the glitters and stuff. A lot of people don't really think to do the different types of glitter, but to me personally, I think it adds so much dimension to a look that I just love doing it. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, or just subscribe, or do neither. I'm honestly just so happy you're here watching me. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!